So when I taught Romeo and Juliet, I always asked my students if they believed in love at first sight, and they said no. And I said, well, I do, and here's my story. That was my introduction.
50 years later, here we are.
Here we are, celebrating our 50th.
My symptoms started off on a trip we took to New Zealand, and I was having trouble keeping my foot steady on the accelerator, and it was kind of bouncing around, and I thought, this is a bit strange. The initial symptoms were tremors in my right arm and right leg, and after 4 years or so, they transferred to the left arm and left leg. I have a bit of difficulty sleeping that I never had before. I get anxious at times, and when I think of where the disease is heading and where I'm heading with the disease. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease on my 65th birthday. My initial reaction was relief, because all of the things that I knew were going wrong with me didn't have a name, and all of a sudden they had a name. But I think I was quite stunned as well. I had pictured the journey that we were going to be taking together as more of a one-way journey, that I was going to be going downhill. She was going to be becoming more and more my caregiver. And then when she got cancer, I thought, I have got an opportunity to be a caregiver. And so I embraced it fully, because it's a rare opportunity when you know the direction you're heading.
To really empathize with somebody else that has a condition, if you've been completely healthy yourself all the time, it's more difficult, even if you love them a lot. It works both ways now. It's made Dean very empathetic, and it's made me more empathetic with his disabilities.
So in early 2019, I said to Glenni, I'd like to stop at the Grand Canyon one more time and give it a go. So I mentioned this to our daughter. She looked at me and she said, really, Dad? Well, a week later, she phoned me and she said, I've decided to come with you. I said, that's fantastic. A week later, she phoned me, and then that's when she said, I've talked to Stef, and he's going to take time off his job, and we're both going to fly to Flagstaff, and we'll both go down into the Grand Canyon and go with you on this trip. Well, I was just overwhelmed with the feeling of being supported. We have our crampons, because the first mile and a half is icy, so we have crampons, we had our backpacks, we had our poles, our boots, and we started down. But what I felt, besides the exhilaration that we had done it, was the fact that when I took off my crampons, they were there to pick up my crampons, to clean them off, to put them in their backpack. And I thought, this is really something. They are becoming caregivers. To have a family that supports you in your journey makes all the difference.